In this video, I'm going to talk about my lifestyle growing up as far as being in elementary, middle school, high school, and some college, okay? Just school in general. So when I was in elementary school, as you see in some of my other videos, I talked about how things watch over me and I went through a cycle in the beginning, running away and different things like that. Well, I was actually a A and B student when I was in elementary. Um, I really remember getting good grades, and I remember um, my school they actually elected me to be like president of the school, to where I would go talk to for the whole school. I would go talk to the principal about all the matters, like kind of like mayor. So I was the mayor of my elementary school, and I also was cross guard and also hall monitor, line leader. I was really a leader at my school, and my grandpa really felt proud of me during them times that I was able to be that type of person at such a young age. Now I wasn't the talkative person back then, I wasn't like really talking to a lot of people. I don't truly I don't know how everybody selected me to be that person. Like it was people in my class and stuff that was I felt like when we think about popularity, but people selected me for some reason, and so that's what I became. Also in elementary, I remember them having assemblies. It was a breakdance a group that used to come during the assemblies. I went to Wakanda. I went to uh elementary through high school. I went to a magnet school. And a magnet school is a school that is super updated. I guess I could put it like that. So yeah, in elementary I went to Wakanda. I grew up in Omaha, Nebraska. I went to Wakanda Elementary, and yeah, it was a magnet school. Real nice school. I remember when the school had got remodeled. Um and when it was remodeled, it was real nice. And I remember by 5th grade, I believe, I started taking special classes. I started taking classes that was built for people who was a little smarter for their age group. I remember it being about 3 or 4 of us in this class, and it was like an overhead, and we would do these math problems and stuff. It seemed like we were like in the attic of the school. That's what it seemed like. Or it was a storage room or something like that. Um and so yeah, I remember doing this in elementary, and I was getting A's and B's, and I was super smart, as far as understanding different things. Um then I get to middle school. Once I get to middle school, I went to a school called McMillan. It was a magnet school also. So I go to McMillan, and when I'm like there, my 7th grade year, um, I didn't do so good. I started to um kind of not act out. Yeah, act out. I'll just say act out. I started to want to be funny and act out. So I stopped doing my homework, and started being the type of youth that come home and just, oh no, I don't have any homework, and just go outside, play sports, ride bike, things like that. Once I got in 8th grade, I kind of started to do a little better. Now, remind you, in 7th grade, my grandpa wanted to hold me back a grade. because I had all S. My grandpa wanted to hold me back a grade. Um, but the school said that wasn't possible to hold me back a grade. I guess being held back a grade, you have to wait till you're in high school or something. I guess back then, if it's changed, then it's changed. But back then, I guess you had to wait till you were in high school to get held back a grade. So they moved me up to eighth grade, and I started to do a little bit better. Um, you know, I started to do a little bit better, and during that time, as I say, 1 second, yeah, 1 second, and during that time, uh, in eighth grade, I remember one of my favorite classes. It was a African American history class that I took after school, and I also took chess class after school, and I really enjoyed it. Like in the African American history class, basically it was my like at my school in eighth grade, it was actual like African American history actual class, like during the daytime, but and that's how I got into it as an after school program. And basically, we will learn all these history facts. Excuse me. We will learn all these history facts about American African American history, and we will do a trivia like contest with other schools because like other schools had it too. And so yeah, that was pretty cool, and it got me to be a little more social and stuff. Also, like during the summer times, like my grandpa had me in the summer dog sun dog program, which is like a activity program, but he also had me in NYSP. Now NYSP stands for National Youth Sports Program, and during there we would go to the college called Creighton College in Omaha, Nebraska, and we would they'll teach us how to play every sport. Every sport they'll teach us the fundamentals. That way, we could gain knowledge of it, and once going into high school, we could figure out what we want to do as far as sports. And so, I did that in the summer times, So yeah, I go into ninth grade. Ninth grade, I went to a Madison school once again called Northwest High School. And in this, oh yeah, and also at my middle school, we had a like a music room, and they were was actually teaching us how to like for a music studio. They was teaching us how to do that. And they was teaching us how to play the piano. All like it was like magnet schools. I'm gonna keep it real. Magnet schools is like different than regular schools. Like if you don't know the difference, like I'm telling you, it's different. Because this was in middle school, like I'm learning how to use Pro Tools and stuff, type stuff. Um, well, anyway, so yeah, ninth grade, I go to this high school called Northwest High School, and Northwest was cool, but then I went back into wanting to just play around, go to sleep in my classes and stuff. Um, when I was in seventh grade, I started this program where they was gonna pay for 4 years for me to go to any college. It's called Pace Setters. I was in this program called Pace Setters, and they was gonna pay for me to go full ride scholarship to anywhere. All I had to do is get like all D's basically. And I could be in there, and I had messed that up my ninth grade year because I wanted to play around. But my school was pretty cool. Also, like since I was like 5 years old, I was playing like football and stuff. I've been playing football since I was like 4 or 5 years old. I'm playing football, like tackle football, and so I played football like all the way up in summer leagues and stuff. And then once I got in high school, I also played till I got the JV. I played JV and down. So, um, but my after my ninth grade year, I started getting in a little trouble, and my grandpa ended up making me a state ward. And when I was a state ward, um, I end up state ward means the state is your guardian now until you're adult. So when I was 15, I basically was a state ward till I was 19 because I didn't graduate because I had bad grades. So my ninth grade year, I had to do all over. Um, so um, I went to these different group homes, and at first I started off in like a shelter so they could find me a group home. And I went to these different group homes, and I went to a group home called Cooper Village. At Cooper Village, it was nice and stuff, but like I had a lot of anger issues, which landed me there. And so that occurred, and yeah, hold on. So yeah, that occurred, and I had these anger issues, and so I got kicked out of that one. Then I went to another shelter while waiting. Then I went to Sioux City, Iowa, a home for boys and girls. That place was just a temporary thing. I didn't get kicked out of there; it was just a temporary thing. And so then, oh yeah, and I went to Omaha Home for Boys too. I didn't. I was only there for about a week before they sent me to Cooper Village. But eventually, I ended up at a place called Boys Town. Okay, Boys Town is well known. People from all over 50 states come to Omaha, Nebraska to go to Boys Town. And I went to Boys Town, and yeah, it literally changed my life. Like, it's a strict process, and I bucked a lot, but eventually I got myself under control, and I got to meet a lot of new people there from all over the world and experience different vibes. And I ended up graduating. I was 19, ended up graduating, and and once I graduated, my grandpa felt like, I'm not gonna say that part. Well, anyway, I graduated and I had to go to a shelter, right? So I go to a shelter, but in my mind, I kid you not, like it's similar to how it is now, like back then, but it was even more simpler back then. Back then, I didn't really know much. I was ignorant and I didn't really care about a lot of things. So I went to a shelter, but it really didn't play in my mind. It was a shelter, it was just another place I was at. And so I'm at the shelter, and I got these checks coming from my grandpa's social security. So I'm 19, I go get PSP, I'm playing games, going to the library. I joined the boxing gym when I got out of Boys Town. And I'm just going through all these cycles, and eventually I moved to Iowa at 19, and start a chapter there. But yeah, this is what my school phases was. And like really what it was is like I was more so like I was popular, but I was more so a loner, you know and when it gained popularity, I didn't even know how it gained it, because like I even to this day, I don't really see myself as like someone who is just amusing. Like I'm cool with everybody as far as being polite, but I don't be thinking like nobody really wanna chill with me. You know what I'm saying? And so it just surprised me, like like my girlfriend, she'll say like they actually like chilling with you. And I just be like, for real? Like really? Like I mean, and back then I would have trouble being social. Like I'm a little more social, and I'm getting a little more social, but I feel like still I'm like awkward sometimes. Like, what is he doing? You know? But yep, that was my school days. Bless everybody, love everybody.